If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, we have Cynthia Calvillo back on the show. Kind of a crazy end to 2019 for her, but we are happy to have her back to kick off this new year in mixed martial arts. How are you, Cynthia? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too as well. It's going great. I'm more than happy to leave 2019 behind me and move forward. So, I mean, it wasn't like it was a super bad one, but obviously there's a lot of issues in that one. You know, it's not like I came off like a loss, but it's definitely not the way that I wanted to end the year. I did lose in the grappling match, but I guess the MMA fight in itself, which was more important to me at the time. We're just trying to move forward. You know, 2020 is here, so we're hoping for a better year.
I mean, in the ultimate story of Cynthia Calvillo, we're going to have to talk about 2019. It's going to maybe be a turning point for you. It's a year that you're going to have to, you know, maybe it'll lead you to better places, but it was a year of ups and downs and fist fights and grappling matches and injuries and opponent switches and then traveling to Thailand, trying to find yourself in a lot of ways, and like all sorts of different things happened this year. How would you describe this past year as we sort of look ahead here?
Yeah, I think for myself, there's a lot of growing. You know, maybe on the outside, the outcome wasn't what I wanted. There was a lot of battles in there that I had to fight through. So there's a lot of challenges and things that I had to deal with. You know, trying to find a new team, going to a different country, setting up a fight camp. You know, dealing with different coaches. It was extremely hard. You know, especially just being a woman in the sport. You know, it's hard to do something like that. And so a lot of things didn't go as I planned. I just knew that I needed to continue to push forward. And so it was a big learning year for me. It was very, very hard. But I think that's just a part of life and in any career that you deal with. And it's just all important on you know, how you roll with the punches and like all the bad things that happen, whether you planned for them or not, you know, or whatever it is that happened. So it was a year of growth. Not my best year, but it was a year ago.
We spoke before the fight in DC with Marina Rodriguez. It was a crazy fight. It was a crazy fight week. It ultimately ended in a draw, but unfortunately you did miss weight for the fight. I know you spoke to the media after the fight and you said you weren't going to make excuses. Your body shut down on you. But when did you start to realize that there was a problem here, that you might not make the weight?
Honestly, with my age, I'm 32 and my body has changed since the time that I first made my debut, and it was really hard for me to do those weight cuts consistently. I think when I first started, I was able to do them because the fights were so close, and I kept keeping my body weight low. And honestly, my body when your body percentage fat is as a woman, like your body changes, and you actually don't end up doing with like a lot of like menstrual periods and stuff like that. And I fought so many times and I kept my body weight low. I didn't I don't know. I think it might have been damaging to my body in a sense, but, so I'm learning that now. And, you know, when I first started in the UFC, there was no flyweight division and there was only a strawweight division. And I was like, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. I made it and I kept wanting to put myself through hell every single time. And I did do that. And I just felt like that was a part of it. Like you have to be this really just strong fighter. Everybody cuts a bunch of weight, but it's just not the same. You know, girls and guys cutting weight, it's just not the same. So, one of the things that made me realize is that it's for me to give the performances that not only I deserve with the work that I put in, but the work that my coaches put in and the support around me. And I don't want to keep making those mistakes and like making it kind of a gamble. Like, I know I can make strawweight, but if something goes wrong and my body's just not dealing with it, my body would just won't cut. Like, it just won't. And so I don't want to do that. I know I can make 25s easy. I'm probably going to be a smaller fighter at 125s, but me and my team have decided, you know, or the people around me have decided that it's better for me to fight at flyweight. You know, I can just train hard, not worry about the you know, making sure that my diet, so, because anytime I try to walk around lighter and I diet harsh, I get injured. I can't train really well. So I want to give everybody the best me, and I think that maybe, I don't know, maybe I can be like Frankie Edgar, you know, not cut too much weight, be the smaller guy, and still, you know, do stuff. And so I fought at 25 before, didn't have a problem with anyone. So I think that's just a clear picture. I mean, it's very appealing for me to be in the strawweight division because I love that division. I mean, there's so monsters in there. It's the deepest division in the UFC. I mean, it's just so much more exciting for me. But, yeah, you know, I can't do that. So I can't do that to myself. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a shot at the flyweight division in the UFC now.
Good for you. I agree with that decision, and I'm not a fighter. I'm all for you ladies and the guys fighting close to the weight classes. I don't like seeing you guys kill yourself and getting down to that weight. Do you feel like it's fair for people like me and maybe not the fans because they can be really harsh about things at different points, but is it fair for us to say things like that, not being fighters? Like, I don't want to see you fight at 150 anymore. I want to see you fight at 25.
No, well, I think it's fair. I think, you know, it's like any sport, you know, everybody, they do put a lot into it. I mean, not a lot into it, but they you know, that's their time and energy. They support us. They spend their money. They want to be fans and stuff like that. So I don't blame them for wanting to be like that. I mean, it's the same with any other sport. Like, you know, football, you know, you got fans, you know, yelling out shit and doing crazy stuff. You know, they turn on their teams, on their, you know, and so it's a part of it. And so I completely understand because it makes them feel part of it. And I understand that, of course, it's harder for the people that are actually doing it. But I get it. I think for me, it was just hard to deal with because it was a really tough thing for me to, at first I was like, I felt really bad. You know, I felt really embarrassed. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with the backlash of a lot of people because I really did try to fight through it. And I tried my best. I sacrificed a ton. And so that's hard. But at the same time, I see the other way. You know, I get how it's easy because you get passionate about even the people that you support. You know, I know that when I watch any of my teammates or friends fight, it's way harder than me being in the cage. Like, I'd rather be in the cage than, you know what. So I understand that, you know, that feel. So it might not be so great sometimes, but I get it. And so I think, yeah, it's good. It's okay for people to put in their opinion and stuff. It's a part of life.
Yeah, and for me, it's more about the health and safety of the athletes. Because I mean, who am I, you know? But you guys are out there working so hard in the gym and getting to these fights. Like, the last thing I want to see is a weight cut, you know, taken away from your performance or taken away from all of that work that you guys put in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things. I mean, I hate to make excuses because everybody wants to know in depth, and like a lot of people don't know what goes behind the scenes. But I'm pretty sure a lot of fighters have crazy fight camps. I'm sure there's a lot of undisclosed, like, crazy things that they have to deal with through fight through. There's no perfect fight camp at any time, you know. And none of my fight camps have been perfect. Of course, some of them are better than others, and some of them, you know. But yeah, you know, we appreciate that. I actually hope that people do start fighting, like a lot of the athletes start, like, you know, go away from that whole weight cut thing. I think it's very dangerous. It's hard for longevity and, like, you know, for our health even after we fight. You know what I mean? We damage our body so many times, like, going through that. Not only do we damage our body, like, training so hard, but then on top of that, here comes fight week, then we want to cut, like, you know, we want to be the bigger person. It's just a norm thing. You got to cut 15 or, you know, whatever, anywhere from like 5 to 30 pounds. Like, you know, that's in the range of what people cut during fight week. And it's pretty insane, but it's a norm. So it's like, if you don't do that, then you're like the smaller person. Because there's been times where, I mean, I've always fought people that are like bigger than me, but there's been times where I cut a lot of weight and I'm still the smaller person. I'm like, how? I just cut 15 pounds in a week. How are you still bigger than me? Like, you know, and I hope that people just go away from that. Like, I hope they really do that and they start really crashing out. And I hope that we can make the sport a little bit safer for us. Obviously, it's a crazy sport to say, like, safer, you know, because we beat each other up. But that'd be one more to, like, help us out, because that's dangerous to, like, send us out like that, you know, and make those drastic weight cuts. We've seen a lot of people, I feel like, you know, a lot of fights have been affected by that. You know, we've seen Khabib versus Ferguson. Luckily, we get this fight coming up in 2020. But actually, when I first made my debut, they were originally supposed to fight back in, 2016.
Yep.
And now they're barely coming around right now, you know what I mean? But it was because of a weight cut, you know? People make fun of it. They won't say it now, but, you know, tiramisu, Khabib, blah, blah, blah. But that's just horrible. like, like I train all like my camp, and I'm like thinking about my opponent. But once it gets closer to the fight, I'm like, okay, my first fight is my weight cut, and then it's a fight, and then I'm like, all right, let's go, have fun. So yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think it's the right thing. Hopefully it changes, and we can all just be healthier for fights. I think it'd be better performances too.
Speaking of performances, the fight with Marina was pretty wild because, to most people watching it, she won the first 2 rounds, but then that 3rd round, good Lord, you got after it, you took her down, and you mauled her for like 5 straight minutes. It was crazy to see that comeback and that resurgence. What sort of flipped the switch for you in that moment? Was it, talking to your corner before the 3rd round? What changed mentally for you?
Honestly, to be honest, like, to be a fighter and like, you have to deal with like a lot of like crazy things that happen during fight camp. And there's plenty of opportunities for me to pull out of the fight. But I didn't want to because I didn't fight very often. This is what I sacrificed. I just moved to another country, figured things out. Things over there did not happen. I couldn't train as properly as I want to, but it's like when you're a fighter, you have to just put on a good face and just keep fighting through everything. But going into that fight already, I was already felt a little down, especially with weight cut. And I went in there and I just said, I'm going to be a fighter. I'm tough as shit, and we're just going to go out there. We're gonna get hot, whatever we can. And the first round was a little bit tough. I had a little bit problems with like adjusting to the clinch. I could tell right away. It kind of like sent a signal to me, and I felt like I kept defending the clinch incorrectly, and so that kind of there's a lot of things that happen in the fight that kind of like make a turning point as to what your game plan is. Just like Mike Tyson says, at the end, and everybody has a plan to get punched, and it's kind of one of those same things. Like I knew that she was strong at it, but I also knew that I didn't have a proper camp where all I had was really a heart, like literally going into like I don't want to lie to anybody, but like I literally just went in there with like heart. Like I tried my best to prepare the way that I could, but there was a lot of things, and so I got into the first round, got by it, and I was like, shit, you know what I mean? This is going to be a tough fight in front of you, Cynthia. She has strong clinch, she punches hard. We knew that. It's a tough change. It's a tough fight. Second round comes around, I was like, all right, come on, let's get going. She hit me in the body really good, like, really good. There's probably a split second where I was like, fuck. I never felt this in a fight before, or even in training. I was like, another woman's about to like make me tap out or like finish. And for a split second there, when I got hit in the body, I was like, fuck. Just compose yourself. Don't give into it, because I feel like anybody, if they would have taken the shots that I did, they'd probably been off the ground, honestly. And I just survived second round, and then third round, I told my coach, I was like, all right, I got my win back. I'm going to go out there. I'm just going to give it everything. I got to take her down and just beat on her and do what I need to do. I need to get this. And so I said, I told my coaches, I said, I got this. I went out there and I took her down, and I said, I was this close to finishing her, and then I let her get up. I feel like, it's just, everything just kind of happens for a reason. I didn't want to go in there and win the fight after I missed weight, have people make excuses. I already missed weight before, and then have people make excuses and say that I won the fight because I was a bigger fighter. And so, I don't know, maybe everything just happens the way that it was supposed to happen.
Interesting.
She's tough. And, I had my trials and tribulations, and I dealt with it, and this is what happened. So
do you consider like a moral victory anyways, that you were able to kind of overcome that? You survived the body shot, even though there were points where it was just so painful. You went through a lot in that fight, and you ended up with all the momentum at the end. Is that at least a moral victory for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I came to even realize either later, I knew she was 12-0 and stuff like that, and I knew she was tough, but I thought I had this, which shouldn't make a difference because I know how tough I am, but it's just not easy to come by. But because I started my career at 23, I didn't do any sports. I literally was just this chubby fat girl that just said, I'm gonna go walk into the gym and start training. I was never an athlete before, never did anything. And so when they told me, I was like, oh, she started MMA when she was 26. I was thinking, oh, maybe she had her fight. She's a Brazilian. Maybe she had some stall-mate fight. She equivalent this 12-0. I mean, I did see her fight some tough opponents. She fought Randa Marcos. She got a draw. She fought Tisha Torres. Tisha Torres is a stand-up fighter, but she's a lot shorter. And Marina's super tall and big. So I was like, okay, I can see how that fight went the way that it did. And so I just felt like she never really faced anyone like me. You know what I mean? And so then I come to realize, I'm like, no, this girl's been an athlete her entire life. She's been doing judo since she was a little child. She's been doing kickboxing. She's been an athlete her entire life. And it's not the first time I come by it. Like, it shouldn't mean anything, but I was very surprised with, some of her tosses and stuff like that, because I obviously wanted to take her down. She did a really good reversal, and it was
So that fight ends, and then less than a week later, you take the grappling match with Danielle Kelly, and she went in there, she did her thing, and at least it was an experience for you. I know you didn't get to do a whole lot there, but did you at least enjoy that experience? Do you want to do more of that kind of thing?
I would love to. I would love to, in different. You know what? It doesn't matter. Honestly, even on like my day, I still would have taken it. That's just the person that I am. Like, I don't shy away from like taking any fights or opportunities to compete. And I've always wanted to do a grappling competition like that, being that I've wanted to do jiu-jitsu competitions a lot. Like during my career, when I first started, I maybe did I did 3. But my jiu-jitsu coaches at the time, like, I'd only practiced no-gi, but they were gi instructors, so I never got belted higher. And so it was really hard for me to compete credentially in a jiu-jitsu competition. So it wasn't until I got into the UFC and I made my name that I can have these super fights, and they were like, I was like, oh, this is dope. I always wanted to do that, So I wanted to go out there and just like give it a shot. I'm very confident. I think it sucks that I ended in 17 seconds, but like I said, there was a lot of things to deal with, and I went out there and I really wanted to give guys a show, because like I think like, even though like MMA, I think I'm an exciting like grappler, and I feel like anybody who's seen me train and has trained with me in jiu-jitsu can tell you that. And so it really sucks that it got shut down in like 17 seconds. But I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully having more opportunities like that. Quintet did tell me that they're looking forward to having female teams. So,
oh, nice.
So I'm hoping for that, and then I can really show people what's up.
I know you probably don't want to get into the things that were happening leading into the fight, but can I just ask, is all that stuff behind you now? Everything's good in that front?
Yeah, I mean, we're still I would say this is going to be probably like this beginning of the year is going to be another rough one. But I'm gonna like consistency and stability, and like because my head coach Justin Buckles, he's separated from Team Alpha Male. I left Team Alpha Male. He's opening his gym. The gym's like, he's trying so hard to open in the next days. But even then, even after you open a gym, you have to develop a team. You have to do all that stuff. And like, I had gone to Thailand because of that reasons, because I really have a place here, And so he's still there, where he's like trying so hard to open it in these next couple months. But I'm hoping, I think I might have a fight lined up here, in April, which should give me plenty of time. And so I think last year, like, for sure was a big learning lesson, but like, it made me, I don't know. I felt like even when I first started into UFC, I felt very like immature, and I have like this like little chip on my shoulder and stuff like that. And it's just, man, being a professional athlete is really hard, but I love it. Sorry, my dog.
It's okay.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. The neighbor goat. Come here. Sorry. Oh, he always wants to be on the show.
Oh, hey. What's the dog's name?
His name's Oso.
Oso?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Oh, loves the camera. Loves this.
Yeah. No, he does. He's like a little superstar. He's like my little sidekick. He's I've had him he's 5 years old. I've had him since he was 8 weeks old. And since I've actually like probably moved to Sacramento and started like my fight career, like my professional fight career, this was the guy that was like there by my side.
So you're coming back in April, at least that's the plan.
Yeah. So look out for an announcement probably these next couple of weeks. I think it's gonna be honestly, I'm still with the way that things have happened for me the last year in my career. In comparison to my UFC debut year, where like how I was just like, man, down to fight. I was like going just like, just took the division by storm and stuff, and then it got really slow. So I'm still very happy and very blessed and very fortunate that the UFC still want to provide me, even like the last one, even after like, you know, Claudia pulled out, they gave me a co-main event spot, you know. It wasn't a pay-per-view show, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can see why, you know, my career has been really slow these last 2 years, so I'm very, very thankful that they still put me in these positions. I think this next opportunity that they're giving me to fight, I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be great for the fans and more motivation. So look out for sure these next couple of weeks. I think it's going to be a very exciting matchup at the flyweight division. So I'll be making my flyweight debut this year in the UFC and hopefully fighting more than once a year.
There you go. I'm not going to prod at you for the opponent. We'll wait for that announcement. Are you fighting on the Tony Habib card, or are you fighting on the one that there's no place for it yet?
You know, I wanted the Khabib one. There might not be in a room. So from what I was told, we're looking to see if they find me a spot on that Khabib card. But if not, which would be really dope, just because I was supposed to make my debut on them highlighting, and the only reason I got pushed up to the main event is because Khabib got sick. So I was like, hey. You know, we'll take what we can get, whether on that card. But if not, it might be the 25th in Nebraska, which is a smaller card, which I'm fine. But I'm very happy with the opponent that I'm getting. So, yeah, it's gonna be great for everyone. Whether they like me or they don't like me, they're gonna want to tune in.
I mean, if you feel like telling us who you're fighting, that's okay.
No, I want to wait till the contracts are signed.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. Once the pen hits paper, we'll get an announcement. But, you know, like you've said, this sport is so wild, and it's sort of really hard to predict how things are going to play out, right? So ideally, what sorts of goals, you know, do you have set for yourself in 2020 as a fighter? And I think more importantly, as a person, because yeah, you're in the UFC, but you know, you are a person and you're more than just a UFC fighter.
Yeah. So my goals for this year is, you know, just put a lot of the things I would like have behind me. You know, that I kept trying to put things behind me. Like I feel like I finally came to that part. I feel like I'm gonna find myself in a home at 125 where mistakes like that are not gonna happen. And there really won't be an excuse. Like at 25, if I miss weight, there was, you know, it's just my time to show up. I had my run that I did, you know, and so I want to have at least 3 more fights this year. I mean, if I go into the flyweight division, if you think about it, there's a couple girls I already beat that are there, you know, and there's a lot of matchups there that are very exciting for me as well. But we're going to take one fight as it is. I mean, we do know that if I go into the flyweight division, number 3 ranked is Joanne Calvillo. I beat her. We have Montana De La Rosa, who is, I think, number 10 or 11. I beat her. So, I mean, going into that division, you know, where does that put me in? You know, put me into a very close spot. So, I think, yeah, I'm hoping to see maybe, who knows? I want to definitely get 3 fights. If that ends up with a title fight, then I'll take it. But any 3 fights that'll keep me up there. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited to really get up there. But yeah, let's see.
Have you been paying attention to Valentina Shevchenko? Obviously, she's on this incredible run right now. She's getting ready to defend her title in February against Caitlin Chukagian. You know, there's a lot of people out there who look at her and they say the gap between Valentina and everybody else is just so wide. She might be the champion forever. Do you see ways to beat her?
Absolutely. I think every fighter is beatable. I think everybody has their weaknesses. I think that people put behind a lot of the fights that were made stylistically. You know, we've seen what Shevchenko did at the bantamweight, but because the flyweight division is so new, and I feel like a lot of people don't have a lot of trust and belief in the women that might be there. Because they haven't seen anything that has like a dominance run where, you know, Ronda Rousey, where she's just like going out there and like, you know, dismantling people. She's got this arm bar, you know, and then, you know, when Joanna Jędrzejczyk as a strawweight division fighter. And so now they see the new flyweight division. There hasn't anybody that really like, it's just been putting people away with like crazy finishes, except for Valentina. So I think that's why she's getting the attention that she does, and she's well deserved. I'm a big fan of Valentina, and her sister included. I've been around them before and stuff like that, and It's not, I think Valentina is actually the same height as me, which is weird, or 1 inch taller than me, and it's weird. So it's weird to see the frames of like women, but dude, I'm a big fan, but I'm looking forward to fighting her hopefully in the near future. I do think that she's going to be dominant champion because she's a lifelong athlete. I mean, her whole life, every day is just traveling and training with her and her sister and her coach. And like, that's just 24/7. Like, there's some fighters that still have like their outside life, even their personal life. Her personal life is still her training partners,
Right.
It's not like, oh, I have my brother and sister, let's go do all this stuff. I have to have all these responsibilities. It's like, that's her life. And so it's very impressive. That's what I want for myself. That's how I see a lot of my surroundings too. Everything's about like training and fighting. So yeah, I'm excited to have her as a champ. Even like I said, Wei Li before and Joanna, those were my two ones that I kept watching. I was like, man, I want to fight Wei Li, I want to fight Tatiana, I want to fight Joanna Jacek. But now my eyes are, we're moving on. So my eyes, she's a dangerous fighter, but it motivates me, it makes me hungry.
Well, before we wrap up here, I might as well ask you. We got Joanna and Zhang Weili getting ready to fight in March, and you're looking at it from an outsider's perspective now. So, who do you think wins that fight?
Dude, this is gonna be a war. I just
Right.
know it. I just know Joanna coming off of her like losses that she just had. She had such a dominant career when she first started in the UFC, and then now she's had these last couple losses. Like, how do you deal with that? You want to see things because you see like even like people well, it's different because I know Joanna was a more dominant champion than well, that's not true. Even like Bravo, you know what I mean? When he was a dominant champion, nobody beat him for years, you know what I mean? And then boom, it's all time. And now where do you see him? Like, he's just like on these undercards. He like gets sent down. He never came back, And so it'd be interesting to see. I really want to see what Joanna can do. Because Wei Li, she's on fire. This is her time. This is her time. I mean, she's just like training hard every day. All she does is train all the time. She's always posting all these crazy videos. She's a crazy athlete, in shape, blah, blah, blah. And so we'll see. I have my money. I think Wei Li's going to win this. But we'll see how Joanna comes back. Because this is going to be a big opportunity for her to really take it all back. Like, if there's an opportunity to take it all back for Joanna, this is a spot. This is a time. She couldn't do it against, she wanted to go up. She couldn't do it with Valentina. She lost against Rose Namajunas. This is your time to really show, because otherwise they're going to start putting you back just how all the rest of the champions, that once they started losing, and just like, they lost the touch. So we'll see. But yeah, I got Waylon.
It's a great fight. I can't wait for that one. And we're excited to see you back at a new weight class at 125 here in the UFC. This is exciting. This is a good decision. And I'm looking forward to seeing the types of matchups you can get at 125, because there's going to be some good ones for you. No doubt about that. And I appreciate you taking the time and chatting to kick off this 2020. Before I let you go, Cynthia, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web and social media. Any shout outs, anything else you want to get off your chest? The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Look out for new Cynthia Flyweight Vision here 2020. I want to show you guys all the stuff that I've been training for and working for these last couple years. But I want to give a shout out to all my teammates, all my coaches, my friends and family, all the supporters, all the reporters, everyone, just like yourself too as well, Mike. I really appreciate it for making the sport great and helping us out and supporting us. So thank you guys so much.
I hope to see you on one of those desks this year too, because you break it down the Joanna Zhang Weili fight. You there's some fire there. I could see it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I've talked about that. I might even, if not English, maybe even go to sports analysts. I know that they're looking for a lot of them. So in Spanish. So I would love that. I literally, the only sport that I watched since I started training MMA was just MMA. So
there you go. We look forward to that. Hope to see you behind the desk, and looking forward to seeing you back there. Hopefully in April. Hopefully on that Nurmagomedov Ferguson card.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I hope so.
Thanks, Cynthia.
All right, thank you.